All right, hello. I am, gonna revisit an old project. I did this Spring Native back before we were doing cool things. This is going to do Spring Boot images as native images, but just using Spring Boot 3.2, and we're gonna run it on a Libre computer. And this is the model, the Le Potato. So this is what we're doing, and I'm just gonna kind of revisit this same project. So I'm making a repository, just examples, right? The steps required to deploy native Spring Boot 3.2 onto a Libre. This a potato. Right, the whole idea, this like Spring Boot on the edge, all the different places, devices, etc., that we can deploy these Spring Boot images, and how, right? Some of the experiments I've done lately is how are we going to deploy these images. So let's just create this repo. And let's build some. Let's go, and we'll kind of go through the steps. So I've gone through this exercise once. We're going to do it a slightly different way than what I did yesterday, as just kind of an example. So cool. I'm going to grab this locally. And we'll start there. And then I'm also going to do our base. All right, let's just go and build. I'm going to use Maven. I'm going to use 3.2.0. I'm going to make this dev dot. I don't know what to do. I don't really care, right? Yeah. Native. How about we do? Right, good. I'm gonna use Java 21. No issues with that. I'm doing for ARM, so I'll have to use my own ARM builder. But yeah, we're just gonna do simple web actuator. And I feel like I missed. Oh, I want to do raw. Is there anything else I want to do? There's not. Thinking. We're just gonna do the simple of simple. Le potato, save. So let's go in there. And let's start. Actually, I should have done this. And close that. And what we'll do is we'll unzip that potato, and we'll move everything from like potato. Nope, we got it. So, and now we've got our project. So this is easy enough. But what I'm going to do in this repository is I'm going to add README. So it's going to kind of be a dual purpose, like the steps that I took from unboxing. So, yeah. Hey, Robotech. So this is, it's similar to an RPi. It's a slightly different board. So most of my stuff back here is Raspberry Pis. I'm gonna drop this off. Robotech, hello. I'm so glad that you're here. Most of my stuff is Raspberry Pis. but this time I'm doing a Libre computer, which is, it's ARM64, but this is a slightly different machine. So they're cheaper. They supposedly they got lower power, and we're going to do that, the kind of power analysis side by side. So big picture is we'll have, I like the whole like power consumption thing, because this device is on the edge. How can you do it? How do you power it? And let's see if I can draw some pictures. You know how I like to draw pictures. Please hold I do my XCalDraw. Let's save that one, and then we'll create a new one. So I'm gonna do this, reset canvas, and then let's quick talk about our draw. So what we're gonna do here is potato. I just like doing that. And what we're gonna do is I'm gonna have 4 of those. And then right now they're all sitting on a Lego. They're in a Lego case. Oops. Oh, I messed that up. So anyways, we got 4 of those. And then what we're going to do is I'm going to build, or it's going to have the network. So a switch and a USB power supply. Right. So the only thing that will be coming into this Lego is on this power, right? And then network. So these, otherwise they'll all be connected this way, right here. And they'll all be connected to the power. I don't want to do that, but anyways. So this is the idea. Yep. Wonderful, wonderful little drain. I mean, you're keeping busy. Yep, you're keeping busy. I like the RPi racks and keyboard cases. They're starting to print. Yeah, like there's all sorts. And I got a 3D printer right here too. That's all cool. But I also have this big box of Legos. And there was an image that like I really liked the aesthetic. Let me see if I can find it. It was like a Lego electronics like cityscape. That I saw, and I was just like, it was close. There's something that it basically looked like a cityscape, but they just had like Legos all spread out. So I've got a bunch of Legos, and I'm going to, wrap all of these computers and additional sensors, right? The long-term goal here is I want to have these things connected and controllable from the screen, from the chat. So I have a train, and in my head there's a Lego train that's going to be doing things, and you'll be able to control it with chat commands. Again, the whole idea that they're disconnected, there's these disconnected things out on the edge. Oh, man, I just wanted to find that one image. Because it's really it's kind of a goal, and it's not going to be anything like what I see or what I'm going to show you, but trending that direction. And there was just one. It wasn't that long ago. I wish I could find it fast, but I'm not that good. But it's Saturday. We're like just hanging out. My kids are out playing on the Xbox. And yeah. You know what? I bet you it's in my likes. Here. Let's see. Where is that? It's gotta be over here, right? I'll find the picture and then we'll get a sense of like what I'm going for. I got a bunch of these devices. Like I've got hundreds of computers and I'm just really just trying to deploy them because I also got a bunch of junk behind me. Let me bring that back up. Like I've got a bunch of junk behind me, right? These boxes, and I'm trying to like deploy everything. I want to get as much as I can up into that closet, deploy it, and then I'm going to throw away the rest, or I'm going to give away the rest. And that's the thing. I'm trying to clean up. My house is a mess. And Robotech, I've actually got an extra 3D printer that I will happily send your way. Because, like I said, I'm trying to clean up. So, Robotech, if you're comfortable, give me your address. I will put it in the mail today. So that's what I'm doing. Thank you. Yeah, stick around. I'm going to be hanging out. Oh, yes. Interesting month. Advent of Code is going on. I'm challenging myself to do it in Kotlin. Ah, that's awesome. Now, would you consider doing it live? Because that's a fun thing. Yeah, Washington State. I'll send it. Like I'll throw it in a box and I'll send it to you if you just put the address in Discord or a Whisper or whatever. I'll send it out today. It's an older one. It's I don't remember the name of it, but I'll take a picture. I'll send it. Yeah, I'm trying to clean up. I'm trying to clean up my life, so I will absolutely send it. Yes, indeed. Yeah, I saw your link to the Java Advent. That was good. And yes, really. People helping people. I want to find this picture. I'm gonna keep on trying to find this picture. It wasn't that long ago, but I guess I'm on the Twitters more than. Oh, close. Hold on one sec. Let's see.
Daddy.
Yeah. Oh, put it in the trash before Mom finds out. Put it in the trash before Mom finds out. That's all I can say. Like, that's gonna be the best move for both of us. Come on, I just want to find this picture because it's the inspiration, it's the goal, it's what I'm trying to do. And I know I'm getting close. It wasn't that long ago. Oh, no. Oh, close. No. I have to find this picture. This is the inspiration. This is the thing. No, that's not it. Oh, but I'm gonna get into that too. The 3D visualizing. Just gotta find this picture because where is it? We're getting close. I know we're getting close. It's October. It could have been all the way back in September, if I'm being honest. So this is lame. Sorry about the lame stream, but of course, I will happily. Right? You can't build robots without being able to print your parts. I don't even know what to search. I just know the picture. I know what I'm trying to do. I just don't know what else is said and what to look for. Man, come on. What is all this junk? Like, yeah, lame stream. But I again, I don't have a big agenda today. I am just trying to deploy stuff, trying to clean up. So Robotech, you're helping me. You're giving me a reason. You're giving me. There it is. So, I feel like I have that many computers. I feel like I have that many computers. So let's do this. Like, you get it. Now that there's no Legos here. And but that aesthetic is cool. That's what I'm going for. Look at all the little screens. Oh, that's a camera, right? So now just imagine something like this with Legos and Raspberry Pis and Libre computers and Zeros and Nooks. Yeah, just not quite at that scale, but up in my closet. That's the goal. That's the goal. That's what I'm working for. So let's do this. And let's put this. This is the kind of inspiration. Does it need to be there? It'll work. So there we go. That's what we're doing. That's why I'm doing the Legos. That's what's in my head, and I just gotta get cranking. It goes so slow. It feels like, oh, this is all I have to do, but yeah, there's work involved. So that's what I'm doing. So we're back. We're here. We have our repository. We have an inspirational picture, and what we are doing is we're unboxing a Libre computer. What I did before was, hey Icon, what I did last night was I tried booting with USB. I found out that with this model of the Libre Pi, it does not boot directly with USB. You have to install the bootloader on an SD card. So we're gonna do that experiment today, where I'm going to, yeah, let's take notes here. Booting to directly on the SD card works. Boot, or we're going to put the bootloader on the SD card and boot from OS and faster USB drive. So that's the goal. Tukes is in. Whoa! Thank you, everybody. Tukes. Yes, indeed. I feel like I have the crew. This is fun. One of the things I realized is I don't have a schedule, and not having a schedule makes it a little bit weird. So I appreciate you guys showing up when you do, because yeah, I haven't put out a schedule. But for 2024, I've been able to stream more. I streamed 30 streams in November on 20 different days. So that makes me feel good. So I think I can do this. You know, if I can get 20 days a month, I think that's a good target. 20 streams a month, I think is a good target. And I'm gonna try to get onto a schedule. I just make it a part of my routine. So yes, the Java Grunt crew. So that's what we're doing. We're gonna do this now. I think I had already downloaded the bootloader. Oh, here's one. Okay, so here's the Libre computer, Libre Tech flash tool. All right, so this is a little nerve, right? They do all the warnings. So let's copy this flash tool. Can I do it on Mac? Hope that it works. I guess we'll see. If I don't do it on here, where would I do it? I do it over there. Yeah, let's see. Let's see if it works with Mac. It doesn't say anything. So let's check it out. So I'm gonna clone this, and this is to flash the bootloader to the SD card. Yeah, schedule, right, they probably help. Let's do this, not there, let's clone it, where I like to clone things into the org. So Libre computer project. So that I know like where it came from. That's one of my little cheat code things. For my, keep myself organized. So let's go in here and it says, hey, let's just deploy bootloaders. So one of the things it says, hey, let's look at the board list, lft.sh. All right, so this doesn't look like it's gonna work. There, -A invalid option. Oh, board list. No, doesn't like that. Let's take a look at, what's it saying? Bash. Oh, I wonder if this needs to be ran on the Libre computer. I can't imagine that, right? Maybe. All right, let's do this. So I have one running. Do I have a good device that I can plug in? My room is such a mess. I need an SD card. I need an SD card adapter, and I have one. I have one right here. Right here. Okay, gotta be careful. So we're gonna take this one out, whatever that is. We're going to eject this device here. Eject, close. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna go and clone this repository over onto the other Libre computer that I have, the one that I did last night. So let's copy that again, and then let's go over there. So we can see, I don't remember the name of it, but we'll be able to see SSH, ANOS 905, XCC01. Sure. All right, so you can see I already have it hooked up to my Tailscale VPN. System restart required. 12 additional security updates can be applied. So let's just do that, because why not? Sudo app, let's do this, update real quick. Let's just clean up, that's just maintenance. It's like eating your breakfast. Like, just patch things. So I ejected this card. I'm gonna grab the card. I'm gonna put in, I have this little USB SD card deal. I didn't see which way it's supposed to go in. Not that way. All right, so I got that adapter. Sudo app upgrade, do all the things, and then we'll reboot. We'll eat our breakfast. Now, I can't hear the music, you guys can. Hopefully the audio is okay. It'll be a little weird, like I'm doing like manual stuff. So the other thing is that Mac Mini, I'm installing Ubuntu on that as well. Have I customized my AI model? So we'll get back into the AI stuff. I'm not doing that this morning. I'm gonna do that later tonight. I am gonna stream it later tonight. And I'm doing the AI model. I assume you're talking about the YouTube analysis. I just got from Anand. I will show this picture. So we, a couple weeks ago, we went over Lab every day. Is a good friend of mine. I highly recommend you check him out. He is a developer advocate over at AWS. And he created this tool for YouTube Analysis Assistant. So basically what it does is it goes out and it pulls down your transcription, and it gives you a bunch of cool feedback. So let me just show you, since we're talking about it. Hey, I did this with Anand, who I was just talking about. He's talking about like, hey, all the cool stuff that you can do gave a great overview on large language models and RAG pattern, and it was fun. It was a blast. So we did that, and then I pointed this little project at it, and the project goes in and it grabs the transcript, and then it also says like, what would be I'm asking the AI model, what would be a good thumbnail for that show, and it came up with this. So also I ask it for like give me a summary and a description, and the AI does it. So like right now, like when I joined this show, when I started this stream, like I gave it a title, but who knows what we're gonna talk about. At the end, we'll summarize it. We'll say, hey, generate me a thumbnail, and that's what we do. And then, I also ask it for like SEO tags, like what things did we talk about that I should put in here in case other people are looking for it. So definitely I'm gonna say Libre computing, le potato. I'll say that a few times so that people know what's going on, and if they want to find it, they can find it here. So I believe that's what you're asking about, like, hey, are we training this? And that gets into that RAG model, the RAG pattern. So I have not trained it yet, but I will be getting into that later today. So I'll circle back to this project later today. I just want to get these 4 potatoes deployed. And I say potato because I want to distinguish between the pie. Potatoes and pie. Hopefully that made sense. So here we go. We have this. We are going to reboot this computer. Sudo shut down R now. So the nice thing is Libre does deliver software for these still. So it has a long-term support Ubuntu image. So I like to be on the latest and greatest, but this version is getting patches, as we just saw. Like, it's not dead. This is the long-term support version for Ubuntu, and I'm getting patches. So this is great. On everything else, I'm going to be running 23.10, which is the latest not supported version, and I'm comfortable with that. I like the latest and greatest. So it's okay to be on the bleeding edge as long as you know how to heal, right? So we're here. We're doing our things. I'm gonna go back. I'm waiting for that to reboot. But I'll close this. We already have our project, so I don't need that. This is what we're doing, and we're gonna boot this. We want to do the bootloader, SD card, bootloader, and then USB with Ubuntu. That's it. So hopefully all we have to do is install the bootloader. The bootloader will then look for the USB drive and boot Ubuntu. And I need to reflash the Ubuntu because I named it the same. So I'll have to flash a new Ubuntu image real quick. But I think I can do both. So in order to flash that Ubuntu image, I'm gonna use Raspberry Pi's imager. My little multi-disc is down there. So let's do this. Where's my Raspberry Pi imager? Oh, look at that. It's got the same image, right? That's the 2204, so that's the one I did before. Let's choose the storage. Here we go. Let's do the settings. So I already did 01, so let's make this 02, and everything else can stay the same. So that's the only difference. So now I'm gonna, boot that one. And let that run. And our other image should be up and running. So now we should be able to go back to 01. And we're up, and hey, we're good. And cool, I kind of like this, and I kind of want to expose that as well. So here we are. Do I have Git? I do. So let's make sure. What do I call it? Libre computer project. flash tool. Yep, go ahead and get it. Oh, let's do the SSH instead of, there we go. Instead of having my key, hit clone that. So now we're on the Libre computer. We're hoping, oh, I didn't plug in this. So I want to plug in this. What I could do is let's make sure that I'm doing the right disk. So it's got this command. I should be able to run this, right? /lft.sh boards. Command boards is not valid. What? Board list. Okay, board list. So there, now it tells me the board list. This is my board. There's another command here where it's got device list. So let's do /lft device list. And it doesn't recognize any devices. So let's plug in this card that has a blank SD card on it. I'm a little nervous about touching the board when okay. Yep. And let's check. Oh, it's up. It's up and running. Yep, you can't come. You gotta go forward. Huh? Okay, I'll put that.
Yeah, if you have your video and all the cam on, then we get
Alright, so that one's still going. Sweet pie. Yep, I'm in the middle of something else though. So
you need this.
I do. So can you hop up? Can you go back out there?
Daddy, when I'm going to get your hair.
Real soon. Right. Hey. Let me switch spots. Let me switch spots again. Here. Okay, look. Okay. What? Which big blocks.
Oh, the broken.
No, big blocks. Hey, Logan. Will you grab the big blocks out of the workshop? Wait, don't run there, Ladybug. Logan will get them. Nope, Logan will. Closet. Oh, nice. So we installed. Now, hopefully, I expect here to see a new device, and there it is, SDA. So there's nothing really on this board, so I can flash. Here's the command. I can flash this. There's nothing on the board. You know, I can rinse and repeat. But we're gonna do this. Yep, the 905XCC to SDA. So same command, but to SDA. Right, flash this to SDA. That should work. Right? Is anybody, am I doing anything wrong? DL flash. That's my AML S905XCC. Yep, let's go. What could possibly go wrong? We're going to do it live. It says, run the above command to flash the target device. Yeah, let's go. I expected a little bit more. I expected something else to happen, but that was pretty fast. All right, wait, did we see anything? Oh, we did. We saw all that. It was just really fast. Yep, we did that. In, out, boom. It did not take very long. Well, all right, so now we can go eject it, and let's see if we can boot up another machine. Oh, we gotta go back to our Raspberry Pi here. So this one's not done. So let me go grab that disk. Let me grab that disk. We'll have to do this a couple more times, so I'll leave that drive in. Ignore. I can remove the SD card from the reader. Continue. Let's go and eject. if it's not or it's not. So now we're good. So this is the Ubuntu USB drive that we're going to put into a new Libre computer. So I'm going to uncover these. There it goes. I made my case before I had anything installed, just kind of like play around. Let's see if I can put this. So what I know is on the Libre computer, it's the top left, next to the network port, it's the top left. This one is the dual purpose USB drive. So this is where I'm going to put the USB Ubuntu image. And then from that other machine, so I kind of want to keep track of this. Over here. Yep, install Ubuntu on the USB drive. Install boot loader onto the. So this did not work from my Mac. So I used potato. So let me put that link. There we go. We'll fix these notes later. I just want to kind of put the steps. I used Raspberry Pi. Used the Raspberry Pi tool. And the version that I used was here. And where's the... Where is the downloads? No, where was the downloads? Let me find that link. Not here, not here. Downloads. Oh, here we go. And I'm grabbing the server ARM64. This one. Link. Here. And I needed to use the 7P or P7 zip. All right, and that's where we're at. So cool, we're done. We have that. Now we're going to install the SD card with bootloader and USB into the. All right, so we got that. Let's get that disk. Wait, how do I unmount the SD card? How do I unmount? Links unmount. One thing I was thinking about, will you scale your applications on the potato, or would you go for crack auto start? So great. Now Wake on Land. There's some interesting things here, right? So one of the projects It's like when you're trying to save power. This is the mailbox project. Where one of the things I can do, it's got a solar power. Attached to the thing. But what it's going to do is sleep for X minutes, take a picture of the box, of the mailbox. So this kind of thing where those edge devices aren't always connected. And what if it doesn't have internet access, right? Then there's another loop, a retry loop. Because if I'm only checking it once a day or twice a day or once an hour, do you want to have that retry loop? Do you want to have it wait for the next day before it tells you that you've got mail? The idea is that this is the thing is going to be like, hey, you've got mail. And that's kind of the process. Save, low battery. The battery should be tiny and it shouldn't need a whole lot of power, and there's a lot of really cool things you can do there. But this whole wake on LAN, like if I wanted to make it ask it for help. These devices only have 2 gigs. So the crack option might not be valuable here. Because I'm still gonna need the JVM. Now, if I'm doing the native images, right, the native is my default. As small as can be, fast startup time, and I can do the scale to 0. And I can have multiple services. So hopefully that makes sense. So right now I'm deploying everything. Kubernetes is going to be my dial tone. Like that's how I'm deploying the infrastructure. So these are all going to be images, and I'm going to deploy them to Kubernetes. So the example I will do today, I might just deploy it to Docker to start, just kind of like prove it out, and then do it to Kubernetes. We'll see. We'll see. Perfect. So let's keep on going. We have this. I wanted to unmount. Right, just unmount dev SDA. Okay, not mounted. I'm gonna go back. I have notes for this, right? We did all these cool things. Yeah, I think we're all right. Trying to replicate this image or this project. I don't want to wreck this disk, but I think we should be all right, right? Let's see our device list. It's still showing the device list. I don't want the device there. I want to remove that device, but it also says it's not mounted. Mount. Isn't there a way to list mounts? Show labels. The RPi 5 is a beast. I was looking at them earlier in 4.8 GB and other specs. Yeah. So the cool thing about the RPi 5 is I've got an external GPU, and it's powerful enough to handle an external GPU. So I have a couple of R5s on the way. I also have a Turing Pi that hasn't been deployed. It's still in the box. Yeah, it's still in the box, so I might be getting to that today too. So the Touring Pi is a board that takes the Pi 4 compute modules and deploys them in a cluster, but on a single board, so you can do some interesting things. I got lots. There's also a Jetson Nano developer kit that needs to get deployed. We're deploying all the things. If it doesn't get deployed, it's going to get given away. We're deploying all the things, and we're hit Kubernetes dial tone or whatever we need to do. We're deploying all the things, and we're throwing away everything else. We're giving away everything else. So that's where we're at. I'm gonna go risky. How do I? No, I want to properly eject. How to properly eject USB drive from Ubuntu. Safely remove an external drive. Right. Activities. Nope. I want to do command line. Eject dev SRO. What? Eject dev. Eject the USB where SRO is your device. Alright, let's try that. Eject. Eject dev SDA. sudo. Fantastic. So now we've got the bootloader SD card going into Le Potato. The bootloader, what we're expecting is that the bootloader will automatically look, the bootloader in the SD card will automatically look to the USB in the dual purpose USB drive, the one that's closest top left by the network switch. And we're hoping that this will boot. And because of the way that we installed Ubuntu on the USB drive, my username should be there. It should boot up with SSH, and I should just be able to boot into it after it starts up. So now I got to get power and a network connection, which I should have plenty of. Got custom network cables come in. They'll fit inside the Legos. But for now, we've got a switch. We got some open ports over here. And the other thing I noticed is the Pi 4. The Pi 4 I feel like is gigabit networking, and the Libre computer is only 100 megabit. We need power. We need a good power supply. So the Libre computer needs a 5 volt to 5.5 volt and at least 2.5 amps. And what's recommended. So I've got that. I've got a nice power supply here. And let me make sure I need power. Okay. My power supply has a power switch. I know I've got power. Plug in power first. It's a little tight. A tight fit. Put it back into my Legos. And let's give it some network. Alright, and at that point, this is how you take that in. Now, the SD card does not fit this little dome where this whole thing. This is right out there. Oh, another interesting. It hit the Lego and ejected the SD card, so that's something to look out for. Oh, alright. So we're all set there. Let's give it power. The computer boots up. When it's got proper power, it gets a red and a blue light. And when it finds the operating system, it gets a green light. So I'm just waiting for that. And it's got to expand that operating system. So we'll see. We'll see. It took a few seconds. Nope, there we go. Green light. It's working. It's great when things work on the first try, right? Power is good. Which means it found the operating system. Yeah, and then the blue light starts flashing. For what looks like activity. All right, so we're good. We have, let's see if we show up. So I'm gonna go over here and look to see if it shows up on the network, which I have a network here somewhere. And let's inspect and see if we're looking now. We know what its name is, but I'm just gonna look across, and I know which it should be on my malware detected network. It should be on the home lab network. And let's look at those devices. And I see it. This is fake. Oh, but it doesn't know what connection. Oh, there it goes. It shows up. All right, so now we're here. That's on the other one. Now I should have an O2. And I should be able to log in. It's got all my access ready. And good. We're in. We're in. So now we're in Ubuntu on the Libre Potato. Again, I'm doing this kind of from like a 0 to hello world. The idea, like, hey, if you go out and buy a Libre Potato off of Amazon, I think it's like $30 or something like that. Or maybe that was just Amazon. They're cheap. And when I bought them, they were much cheaper than the Raspberry Pis when the Raspberry Pi had their supply chain issues. Why is this taking so long? Hello. Oh boy. Libre. Potato. $35. And you can get them overnight. So this is the exact board that I'm doing. And yeah, oh, with a heatsink for $40. $5 more, get a heatsink. Like, and that's overnight. So yeah, so that's what I'm doing. Like, you could go buy one of these, stand it up, and go. So these are the instructions that we're doing. We are rocking and rolling. Here we're up. So now we got to do like my other steps. So I'm gonna go over here. I captured the steps that I did yesterday. After I install, what do? I eat my breakfast. I remove some things, I add it to my network, and then I install the node exporter. So let's do those steps. Before we come back here, again, we're gonna deploy this, but let's do this. Sudo apt update on the new potato. Sudo apt dist upgrade -y. It's going to give me all the latest and greatest. So the image that I downloaded, that's a point in time image, right? But all the patching, that's what I'm grabbing. All the patches that have come out since that point in time. Maybe. are. Awesome. All right, do your thing. Now, what I didn't do, so what I did yesterday was I added it to a Kubernetes cluster, and maybe that's the easier path. What I did before was I installed, right, this is just on a 2W, right, 512 megabytes of RAM. I installed Docker, all the things, full upgrade, cool. I installed Docker, and I do the things I need. But you know what? I don't think I went through all these steps yesterday. I do the dir-env stuff. That makes sense. But yeah. Should I just deploy Docker and get the image out there? Or should I just deploy it to Kubernetes and then add some config that says make sure that this lands on one of the white potatoes? What do you think? The faster path. Whatever everybody, if you're just going to buy a Libre computer, you don't have a Kubernetes, I could install K3s, but I think I'll go down the Docker path. I'll go down the Docker path. I think that's the easiest. Then I can just go follow these steps, and we can just rebuild it. We'll rebuild it after that. No problem. Yeah, Docker path. Thanks, Simon. So this will take some time. Now, yeah, this is definitely running on the USB drive. So this is definitely going faster than it did for me yesterday on the SD card. And that's just, it's those little things that kind of add up, especially when you're out on the edge. The reason I don't want to do a bunch of wear and tear on the SD card, not just the speed, but when you're deploying these, outside into the elements, if something goes bad in SD cards, they just don't have the lifespan of a USB drive or the speed. So, especially when there's power issues, a bad write on the SD card could cause problems. Like, do you really want to be making those trips? By just making it the bootloader, read-only bootloader, then my SD card is going to last a bit longer, and the USB drive has a little bit more resiliency, not reliability. So that's what we're doing. So hopefully this will be a little bit, yeah, it'll be worth it. Grabbing the kernel. It seems like my network is a little slow at the moment. This is a little concerning. The stream's going fine. I guess I don't have any of the fancy stream metrics. Looks like it's going all right. My kids are having a good time. And I'm gonna take a peek over here. The one thing that I don't have set up is I don't have a good view of my chat over on Kick. Everything else, the chat comes in, I can see it and we're good. But Kick, because of the way I'm deploying, I don't see those messages. So I got viewers over there, but no chat. And that's typical, and maybe because I haven't been doing a good job of chatting over there. Right? It's two different things. I'll get that figured out. I'll come up with a pattern at some point. But yeah, this is boring stuff, but it's just, this is part of going to production. And what I can do is, in the meantime, because I'm on an ARM64 Mac, I can actually go over here You know what? I don't even have to make an image out of it. I can do this. I just kind of like prove the point. I don't even have to do Docker. I should be able to, actually, let's go over here. I should be able to just do this. -mvnw-p native compile. No, because I'm doing, this is Mac. This is Mac. If I use my builder, I can. So I have this Keto ARM64 build pack, and that's Linux inside of the build pack. So what I need to do is I'll do my project setup stuff. I can do that, right? I'm gonna do it this way. So all I'm gonna do is say initializer ++ multi-arch builder. And that's gonna use my builder. So that when I do this, mvnw-p native spring boot build image, it's gonna use my build pack to build a native image. Using Spring Boot 3.2.0. Let's see, what does it say? Default failed, unable to parse image reference. Lay potato, OST tech. Oh, I gotta do my other stuff. Initializer ++, extensions. These are the things that I add so that I can have my stuff. And while I'm at it, I might as well do this. Project version, project description. What else did we help? This my initializer ++ is just a shell that I use to establish my conventions, the things that I always do with projects, the steps that I don't want to remember and I don't want to put into a wiki. I just have it set up as a shell, as a CLI that I can also inject into my pipelines, my path production. So I can do it locally, or I could just say on my build pipeline, on my software supply chain, I could just say do these things. So like the extensions that I use, I don't need to add any beans. I don't need to expand or expose the management endpoints. I don't need that. I already did that. Project name I did, project version, project description. It also gives me the auto expand. So we have our project. Let's go back and now do that build. It knows how to build it. It's gonna go grab my builder. Yes. Yeah. So let's grab the latest version of my builder, and we should be set. Now, yeah, this will be interesting. We're grabbing Liberica's NIC for OpenJDK21. And yeah, should take about a minute. So let's go back and check in on our update, our dist upgrade. It's grabbing the latest version of the Linux kernel available for that distribution, grabbing all the patches, all the updates, doing all the install. And it'll take some time, and that's fine. We're multitasking. I'm not really good at multitasking, to be honest. But now I gotta process. So without too much more work, I should be able to set up all 4 of these Libre computers. I'll redo the first one using the SD card as the bootloader and put the operating system on the USB device. But then I will deploy those. And deploy, I mean, I'll put them up in the closet with the other Legos. And one of the other things is I really want to get like a live view, one of these cameras hooked up. So that comes into another kind of interesting part of the conversation is like, I'm deploying these things on the edge and I'm using Kubernetes. How do I decide, like if this one is the one that has a camera, right? camera, whatever the thing is. That's at the host, right? Right? If I'm doing Kubernetes, you gotta take some extra care in making for just this node. Let's see this. A label with the sensors. Sensor info. So that when I'm deploying a worker or an application to my Kubernetes cluster, and this Kubernetes cluster is going to have, let's go back to basement. Let me get another terminal to show you what's going on.
Daddy.
Thank you. So in this CTX, this basement cluster is ARM64, kubectl get nodes -o wide. Let's make that visible. So what we can see here is this is the node that we added last night, 18 hours ago. And you'll be able to see here on the kernel version, right? This is using Ubuntu 22, right? That's that Libre computer that is a part of this cluster. So I've got a bunch of these clusters. Now, if I put a camera on one of these computers, when I give my workload to Kubernetes, I'm going to have to say, hey, you've got to go to a worker, a node that has this label, that has a camera label in order to run this workload, and let Kubernetes figure out where that's at, because these devices might come and go, but Kubernetes needs a way to find out where can I deploy this workload. Because if I create a workload that needs a camera, it has to land on a node that has a camera or whatever the sensor is, right? So these are kind of like some of these next level concerns that we're gonna have when we're doing Kubernetes Spring Boot on the edge. So we'll get into that. So we have our native image. Oh, I should probably initialize this. Wait. Git status. Oh, let's add all this. And we're gonna do that again. I think this is just fine, right? MVNW, let's just run it, spring run. Cool. All right, so let's do this. Git commit. Fast. And let's push that up. And then let's do git tag the 0.0.1. And then let's do that native image build again, mvnw-p native spring boot build image. And I expect to get a properly named image in my registry. And I could just make this part of my build and have it automatically go to my registry, which is not a bad idea. We have time, right? I do have to go get a haircut. I just want to get this application running. So let's go back and check on our, this one, let's go back and check on our, all right, O2 node. It's all updated. The next steps I want to do is sudo apt auto remove. Get rid of the stuff that it doesn't need anymore because they were deprecated or whatever. Then I'm going to add it to my Tailscale network. Right, this is not part of the demo here. This is me and how I'm deploying things to my home network. So you go do this thing. I'll get a URL. This thing. Tailscale up. It's gonna be like, hey, I don't know what you're trying to do. Like, what network are you trying to connect to? Now, here's the thing. You could take this and you could add it. Like while I'm doing it, you could go and add it to your Tailscale network if you do it before I do. But what that would do is it would put my Libre computer inside of your network. Yes, you'd be inside of my network, but it would put my Libre into your VPN as well. So I would also have access to your network right now. That'd be interesting. So that's why I don't shy away from this part. It shows it's added to mine. And yeah, now I'm gonna do one last thing. Sudo apt install Prometheus node exporter, right? Because I want to be able to get metrics on all these computers that I'm deploying all over the place. I want to be able to keep an eye on them, see how they're doing. And this last thing, then we'll reboot. I don't think I have anything else, any other steps. All right, now I'm going to reboot. We'll give that a sec to come back up. We have an image now. That's got a good name. It works. Now, why did it do snapshot? Why did it do snapshot? What happened here? So the version should be based on the tag. Why is it saying snapshot? What happened here? In my config, it says use snapshot if I've made changes, but I didn't use change. Auto increment. What did I do wrong? Why is it saying it's a snapshot? I don't have any changes. It knows about the tag, right? What am I doing wrong? Like every once in a while I get confused on my config. Don't use like a community. I feel like I changed my defaults here. So Yeah, that's just saying, hey, I'm not looking at it. I'm not sure why it wanted to do a snapshot there. This is for if you don't have anything committed, right? If I've got changes locally. So if I change this back to true, I expect it to be dirty because I have a change. Yeah, that works. So I change this back to true. I expect it shouldn't be a snapshot because it's on a tag. So why is it giving me a snapshot? I don't understand. I'll come back and look at that. Let's do this. Hi.
Daddy, I'm just saying.
So well, I'll wrap up here in a minute. We're getting that Spring Boot deployed to a Libre computer. All right. So we are building a new version. I said I was going to do the Docker route, which is fine. I can do that. Yeah, the wee ones are calling. That's what happens. I think they're ready to have some food. I did this. I did all this. I'm not doing all the networking stuff. We're good. We did the app update. We did the upgrade. I don't need to do that. Let's go install Docker. Right, I should be back up. Let's go back to that machine. Yep, the machine's good. There's nothing there. Oh, wait, it says additional security updates. What? Let's do that. I wonder if that came after I did the remove. Okay. All right, so now we can do the Docker install. And I'm realizing I'm going to have to go do I didn't do the CH group stuff in here. Let's see if I have to. It says it's dirty. That is so weird. Oh, it says it's dirty because of this. All right, let me do that one more time. I'll do that. And then let's go back over here. I am installing Docker, just doing the git Docker curl command. Let that run. It's going on USB, so it shouldn't take too long. And in the background, I'm running grabbing a native image. I'm building a Spring Boot image. Then I'm using RAW-VM to give me a native image that's optimized for Linux and ARM64 that I can then run on my Libre computer. That's just a single board computer, much like a Raspberry Pi, 2 gigabytes of RAM, 4-core, 64-bit processor. And that's what we're trying to do. So I should be able to, which simplest model of Raspberry Pi can I use to try to run Java application on it? Well, look at this. Look at this. Here's a blog from April 2022. Oh, my music is too loud. All right. Here's a blog from April 2022 where I'm running this on the Raspberry Pi 02W, which is a $15 computer. Amazon. Well, maybe not on Amazon. 02. $30, right? And that's because it's on Amazon, right? If we go someplace, Pi Shop. Let's see how much they really are. Raspberry Pi 02. Right here, $15. The 02W. So that machine right there is what we can deploy our Spring Boot. And I do this. Right? So this is like not just an experiment. I'll show you. I've got Spring Boot workloads deployed to Raspberry Pi 02s in this fashion. So this is a Raspberry Pi 4 as the baseboard. It's got a cluster hat device, and then it's got 4 Raspberry Pi 02s attached to it. But this is a Kubernetes cluster, and they are running Spring Boot workloads. Yeah. Yep. So thank you for the feedback on the music. And then, yeah, it depends on the kind of Java application, but yeah. So not even basic things. Like I'm doing telemetry and metrics and power consumption and MQTT brokers with Redis. I'm doing lots of interesting things on this picture that I'm showing is a $130 setup. Did I put that price on there? Right, so it's a Raspberry Pi board. These are $15, so that's $60 for what's on top. Let's just say $60 for what's on bottom in the case. Yeah, $120, $150 max. You can add in the disks, etc. But it's a Kubernetes cluster, and we can do lots of really interesting things with that. But then we get into the devices question, right, or the sensors question. So we'll get into that soon. We'll get into that soon. So, yeah, let's keep on going. Let's keep on going. We have our stuff. Okay, we're going to do this. To run Docker as non-privileged user, consider setting up. We can do that. It's fine. Let's take those steps. Missing system requirements, run the following commands. Okay. Just copy and paste. And these are the same things. These are recorded over in this other blog that I did, and I'll put those steps in here. So we're down here. We added the runtime.
Mommy too.
Oh, and my wife is here. So that's my time. We're gonna do this. I'll come back later. I'll do the extra steps, and we'll finish it up. But thanks for hanging in. Tune in later. I'll come back, and I'm gonna be doing more deploying all the things and running Spring Boot on interesting devices. Thanks.